dipersilakan duduk. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Majlis pada pagi ini mengalu-alukan kehadiran yang berbahagia Dato' Dr. Haji Roziah Muhammad Jano, mantan Life Chancellor UiTM. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Bashir Ahmad Abdul Majid, pengerusi MRT Corp. Yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Haji Azmin Mustam Abdul Karim, pengarah urusan Petro Teguh Sdn Berhad. Dan yang diraikan yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah, Dekan Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan. Profesor Ejang, rakan-rakan industri, wakil pengurusan universiti dan fakulti, datuk-datuk, datin-datin dan para pensyarah sekalian. Selamat datang ke Majlis Syarahan Profesor oleh yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah, Dekan Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan. Biji selasih boleh dimakan, menjadi perisa, sedap terperi. Selamat datang kami ucapkan, semoga majlis bertambah seri. Sidang hadirin yang dihormati, bagi memberkati majlis kita pada hari ini, majlis dengan sukacitanya mempersilakan Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Zaki bin Mustafa untuk memimpin bacaan doa. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan.
Al-Fatihah. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami bersyukur kepadamu. Dengan izin-Mu jua kami dapat berkumpul pada hari ini. Oleh itu, Engkau jadikanlah hari ini lebih baik bagi kami dari hari-hari yang telah lalu. Akidah kami semakin kukuh, ibadah kami semakin bertambah, akhlak kami semakin cemerlang, rezeki kami semakin luas dan halal, umur kami umur yang diberkati, dan amal kami amal yang diridhai. Allahumma ya zal fadli wal ni'am. Sempena dengan majlis syarahan Profesor UiTM ini juga, kami memohon kehadrat-Mu ya Allah. Engkau berkatilah majlis ini, Engkau rahmatilah sekalian yang hadir di majlis ini. Jadikanlah segala usaha dan amal kami ini sebagai amal yang Engkau redai. Ilhamkanlah dalam fikiran kami idea-idea yang bernas, kreatif, kritis, positif, mantap dan berpandangan jauh. Kurniakanlah kepada kami sifat kesungguhan dan ketekunan pada diri kami untuk merangka strategi bagi mencapai kecemerlangan serta matlamat wawasan sebagaimana yang dicita-citakan. Mudah-mudahan dengan usaha sebegini akan menjadi kami insan yang cemerlang di dunia dan di akhirat. Allahumma ya ghafur wa ya syakur. Bersempena dengan majlis ini juga ya Allah, Engkau tanamkanlah sifat dan akhlak terpuji dalam diri kami. Berikanlah limpahan taufik dan hidayah-Mu kepada kami supaya kami dapat memperbaiki diri kami. Kurniakanlah kepada kami ya Allah kekayaan ilmu, kematangan iman dan amal. Kuatkanlah tekad dan semangat kami untuk memperbaiki dengan lebih cekap dan cemerlang. Bukakanlah pintu hati kami untuk menjadi manusia yang sempurna, manusia yang berjiwa wajar, sentiasa sanggup menghadapi cabaran dan rintangan. Allahumma ya Basi, ya Hafiz, ya Raqib. Ya Allah, jadikanlah perhimpunan pada hari ini satu perhimpunan yang dirahmati, dan perpisahan kami selepas ini adalah satu perpisahan yang diberkati. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Taqabbalallahu minkum.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Majlis mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Zaki, Pegawai Eksekutif Hal Ehwal Islam, di atas bacaan doa sebentar tadi. Yang berbahagia Datuk Datin, hadirin hadirat yang dimuliakan, majlis pada hari ini akan dimulakan dengan sesi ucapan pembukaan dan sesi pengenalan. Dengan ini, majlis mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Zarina Denan, Timbalan Dekan Akademik Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan untuk ucapan pembukaan. Dipersilakan.
Terima kasih kepada saudari pengurusi majlis. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Majlis pada pagi ini mengalu-alukan kehadiran yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Janur, mantan Naib Chancellor UiTM. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Bashir Ahmad Abdul Majid, pengurusi MRT Corp. Yang berbahagia Datuk Sri Haji Azmi Mustam Abdul Karim, Pengarah Urusan Petro Teguh Sdn Bhd. Yang berbahagia dan yang diraikan pada hari ini Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah, Dekan Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan. Profesor Ajung, rakan-rakan industri, Wakil Pengurusan Universiti dan Fakulti, Datuk-Datuk, Datin-Datin dan para pensyarah sekalian. Bersyukur saya kehadrat ilahi dengan limpah kurnianya dapat kita berkumpul di majlis ilmu pada pagi ini. Saya akan mulakan dengan serangkap pantun. Tanah luas tak ada tuannya, tombak tajam ditancapkan. Atas pilihan dan jemputan, terima kasih saya ucapkan. Seterusnya, izinkan saya memulakan tugas saya juga dengan berpantun juga. Sangat sejuk cuaca di Balkan, sakitnya tekak tidak tertelan. Sebelum kita mulakan syarahan, marilah kita berkenal-kenalan. Firdaus Abdullah nama diberi, kacak dan menawan tiada celah. Kecil-kecil si cili padi, namun CV-nya panjang berjela. Beliau telah dilahirkan 53 tahun yang lalu. Habis Prof, saya pecahkan umur Prof di Sarawak. Ya. So latar belakang pendidikan Prof Firdaus, pada tahun 1989 beliau menduduki SPM di St. Joseph Secondary School, Kuching, Sarawak. Pada 1990, beliau berada di French Matriculation Institute Teknologi Mara, Shah Alam, dan dianugerahkan dengan French Language Certificate. Pada 1991, beliau telah dianugerahkan Baccalaureate di France. Ya. Saya tak pandai nak ber-French tu, sorry Prof. Pada April 1993, pada April 1993, beliau mendapat Diploma Enterprise Management di France. Pada Mei 1994, beliau menyambung pengajian di Bournemouth, UK, mendapatkan Postgraduate Diploma dan Diploma of Higher Technical Studies di University of Poitiers, France. Mei 1995, beliau menyambung pengajian dan mendapatkan MBA di Bournemouth, UK. April 2005, beliau berjaya mendapatkan Doctor of Business Administration di University of South Australia. Dari segi pengalaman profesional, Prof merupakan Dekan Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan dari Oktober 2022 sehingga sekarang. Telah menjadi Timbalan Rektor Akademik dan Antarabangsa UiTM Sarawak daripada April 2018 sehinggalah September 2022. menjadi penolong rektor kampus Samarahan 2 merangkap komunikasi korporat dan perhubungan antarabangsa UiTM Sarawak dari Jun 2016 sehingga Mac 2018. Menjadi ketua pusat pengajian pasca siswaza merangkap menjadi komunikasi korporat dan perhubungan antarabangsa UiTM Sarawak daripada 2007 sehinggalah 2016. Beliau juga pernah menjadi koordinator program bersekutu UiTM Sarawak daripada tahun 2001 sehingga 2005. Beliau juga sebelum itu pada tahun 1998 hingga tahun 2000 beliau pernah menjadi pensyarah dan juga ketua program di INTI International University College. Pada tahun 1995 hingga 1998 beliau pernah menjadi penolong pengurus bahagian audit dalam di Cahaya Mata Sarawak Berhad. Beliau juga pernah menjadi pensyarah sambilan di Universiti Luar Negara di Australia untuk program MBA di University of Southern Queensland pada 2005 hingga 2007 dan pernah juga berkhidmat sebagai pensyarah sambilan di MBA program di Southern Cross University Australia pada tahun 2007 hingga 2009. Pada tahun 1993 dan 1994 beliau juga pernah bekerja sebagai pegawai pelatih bertaraf kontrak di France. Prof. Firdaus pernah menjadi visiting professor di beberapa universiti. Visiting professor di Beijing Wuxi University China, menjadi visiting professor di Ningxia Medical University China, menjadi honorary board of governors European Marketing Management Association Professional Fellow Asia Pacific Institute Events Management. Beliau juga pernah menjadi Foreign High Talent Senior Visiting Professor di China. Panjang sebenarnya CV ya. Walaupun beliau memegang jawatan dan sibuk dengan kerja-kerja pentadbiran, Prof. Firdaus tidak pernah melupakan tanggungjawab sebagai seorang pensyarah untuk menghasilkan penulisan di jurnal-jurnal berwasit pada setiap tahun. Ya, tajuk-tajuk penulisan beliau berkisar dari konvensional marketing sehinggalah menyentuh tentang isu-isu pemasaran Islamik dan isu-isu halal. Beliau juga banyak mendapat jemputan memberi ucap utama di konferensi-konferensi internasional dan nasional di peringkat kebangsaan. Pada 2023 sahaja beliau telah dijemput untuk memberi 5 ucap utama di 5 konferensi antarabangsa di luar negara. Antaranya the second Asia Pacific State of Arts event di Lombok, the 10th International Conference on Social Science di Bangkok, ICDL Asia Digital Literacy Day 2023 di Singapore, the 22nd International Research Conference di Islamabad, Pakistan, UMass Conference di Dubai pada tahun 2023. Pada tahun 2022 beliau memberi ucap utama di the second International Conference Innovative Science and Technology for Research and Education. 2021 utama di International Conference on Economics, Business and Marketing Management di Singapore. 2020 memberi ucap utama di Global Summit on Viral Immunology and Antiviral Therapy of COVID-19 Special Edition Kuching. Pada 2019 beliau memberi ucap utama di TVET Education at UiTM Sarawak dan juga Research Colloquium UiTM Sarawak pada 2019. Dari sudut penyelidikan dan perundingan, sebenarnya beliau telah bermula dari 2005 sehinggalah ke tahun 2023. Tugas penyelidikan dan perundingan tidak putus-putus digalas oleh Prof. Firdaus. Pada tahun 2023, Profesor Firdaus mempunyai 4 projek penyelidikan dan perundingan yang bernilai sebanyak 784,965 yang dibiayai oleh 3 organisasi, iaitu oleh KL City Council, Sarawak Digital Economy Corporation, Erasmus di bawah Education European Union. Pada 2022, beliau juga berjaya mendapatkan projek perundingan yang bernilai 1.5 juta dibiayai oleh unit peneraju Kementerian Hal Ehwal Ekonomi Malaysia. Projek penyelidikan pada tahun yang sama juga beliau berjaya mendapatkan projek penyelidikan perundingan yang dibiayai oleh pejabat yang diperoleh di Sarawak bernilai RM500,000. Dari segi penerbitan buku, Prof. Firdaus bersama-sama rakan beliau telah berkolaborasi menghasilkan beberapa buku di tahun 2012, 2016, 2017 dan 2019 yang membincangkan tentang keusahawanan, perniagaan, ekonomi dan pendidikan. Pada 2019 sahaja, 4 buku telah dihasilkan oleh Prof. Firdaus bersama rakan-rakan beliau. Sebagai seorang pensyarah bidang pemasaran, beliau sememangnya mempunyai kepakaran bukan sahaja di dalam bidang pemasaran dan perniagaan, malah beliau mahir berkomunikasi dan kerap dijemput menjadi panel, penceramah, fasilitator dan jurulatih di bengkel-bengkel seminar di sektor awam maupun sektor swasta. Dari segi penyeliaan akademik, sebagai seorang pensyarah, Prof. Firdaus tidak dapat lari dari menjadi penyelia kepada pelajar-pelajar pasca siswasa. Prof. Firdaus telah menggraduatkan setakat ini 11 orang pelajar PhD dan DBA. 2023 satu orang pelajar PhD, 2021 satu orang pelajar DBA, 2020 dua orang pelajar DBA, satu PhD, 2019 tiga orang pelajar PhD, satu orang pelajar DBA, 2014 seorang pelajar PhD, 2012 seorang pelajar PhD. Beliau juga telah menggraduatkan 3 orang pelajar MSc ya di bawah SLM beliau pada tahun 2010 dan juga 2013. Buat masa sekarang beliau masih menyelia seramai 10 orang pelajar PhD. Dari segi anugerah, pada tahun 2022, Prof. Firdaus telah dianugerahkan Anugerah Kebesaran Negeri Sarawak, Pegawai Bintang Kenyalang PBK, Darjah Gemilang Bintang Kenyalang Sarawak. Selain daripada itu, beliau banyak memenangi anugerah di peringkat antarabangsa dan kebangsaan sama ada di pertandingan inovasi maupun anugerah Best Paper Award di konferensi kebangsaan dan antarabangsa. Prof. Firdaus juga telah banyak menyumbang kepada 43 MOU dan MOA UiTM dengan rakan universiti dan rakan industri sebagai ketua perintis. Itulah yang dapat saya rangkumi dan simpulkan latar belakang Prof. Firdaus Abdullah. Saya memohon ampun dan maaf terutamanya kepada Prof. Firdaus sekiranya ringkasan profil dan latar belakang Prof menjadi terlalu pendek. Akhir kata, bunga dedap di atas para, anak dusun pasang pelita. Andai tersilap tutur bicara, jari disusun maaf dipindah. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Majlis merakamkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Zarina Denang Timbalan Dekan Akademik atas ucapan sebentar tadi. Hadirin yang dihormati, marilah kita bersama-sama menyaksikan tayangan montaj khas mengenai latar belakang yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah. Hadirin sekalian, itulah tadi sebahagian kecil dari kisah latar belakang Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah yang dikongsikan buat anda semua. Yang berbahagia, Datuk Datin, sidang hadirin yang dihormati. Tibalah masa yang dinanti. Saya pasti ramai yang tidak sabar untuk mendengar perkongsian beliau. Dengan ini dipersilakan yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah, Dekan Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan, untuk menyampaikan syarahan beliau yang bertajuk Towards Business Sustainability Through Service Marketing. Dengan segala hormatnya dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Selamat pagi. Terima kasih Puan Nini. Terima kasih juga Ustaz Muhammad Zaki atas bacaan doa tadi. Sebenarnya saya sangat terharu. I'm truly overwhelmed. Very excited. Atas kehadiran semua. No words can describe my feeling at the moment. I feel very honored to have your presence this morning. I see faces management of UiTM, former Vice Chancellor, bahagia Prof. Dr. Rozia, serta suami. Friends from industry, yang bahagia Tan Sri Dr. Bashir. Also another friend from industry, yang bahagia Dr. Sri Azmin. And also management of UiTM, Prof. Dr. Shariman, Assistant Vice Chancellor, rakan industri saya, Encik Habib, dan juga rakan-rakan dari industri, Dr. Farouk, Dr. Dania, Jang Profesor Dr. Subhi, Dr. Zahra, Zuraida, maaf, Dr. Zuraida, dan juga rakan-rakan dekan saya, Prof. Selinda, Puan Afina, dan juga Prof. Rektor PDI UCS. Dan I can see my fellow colleagues, lecturers from Faculty of Business Management, and also lecturers from the Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, students, dan semua yang hadir. As what I mentioned just now, I'm truly honored with your presence this morning, and saya rasa sangat-sangat terharu. Tadi sesi pengenalan, lupa tadi nak ucap terima kasih kepada Prof. Madia Dr. Zarina, ke situ lah dulu. Prof. Madia Dr. Zarina atas ucapan pengenalan yang panjang tadi. Sebenarnya taklah panjang sangat CV itu. Pembetangan tengok. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for that introduction. Syukur kehadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana dengan limpah dan izinnya kita dapat bersama-sama pada pagi sesi majlis syarahan profesor saya. First of all, I would like to extend gratitude, appreciations to the top management of UiTM for the opportunities given, for the resources given, for the continuous support, not just to make this session or this event possible, but at the same time support given to me throughout my tenure at UiTM, 23 years at UiTM. And I'm very fortunate, of course, to have the continuous unwavering support from the top management of UiTM. And also that I have to mention also the continuous support, not just to myself, but also my fellow colleagues, lecturers, in terms of the visionary leadership of UiTM, and also the continuous improvement in whatever aspects. And I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to my colleagues, lecturers, faculty, business management. We are having this session, in fact, live on YouTube. So we have lecturers throughout the whole system. Faculty of Business Management, we have lecturers over 1,000 throughout the whole system. And again, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your continuous encouragement. Thank you very much for your good fellowship. And lastly, but most importantly, my gratitude, of course, to my family, in particular my wife, who's present there, the patient, the support, because my family, particularly my wife, has been the bedrock of my resilience, my perseverance. Thank you very much. Thank you for being present today. Let me start this session with some wise, let me share with you some wise words from various scholars, Islamic scholars, and also for example, Aristotle. He mentioned that what we are what we repeatedly do. Excellent. Then it is not an act, but a habit. Now I will touch a little bit on that, in particular service excellence. Because in business, excellent means a lot of things, but in particular service excellence is all about providing outstanding service. In the moment when you have achieved service excellence in your organization, regardless of whether it's profit-oriented or non-profit-oriented, you are sure to achieve satisfaction. You are sure to achieve your loyalty, or even good, excellent relationship with your clients, your customers, and so on. But I will touch on that later on. And according to Bill Gates, he said that the most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Again, this is something that is very much relevant to the business world, in marketing in particular. I will talk later on about the importance of having positive customer experience, service culture, customer loyalty, relationship marketing, and so on. So all these are related in the sense that if you want to achieve, for example, you want to maintain sustained business success, one of the most important things is to ensure that your clients, your customers are happy, highly satisfied. And those customers that are unhappy would be the best source of learning for any organization. If you look at another Islamic scholar, Malik bin Umar, he mentioned that in the business start of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all types of profit will come to you without needing any capital. Now I will further elaborate this in Islamic marketing. Islamic marketing is in fact an area of study that is still unexplored, especially in terms of empirical data, empirical research. I'll be looking into, I'll be sharing with you later on the difference between Islamic marketing and also conventional marketing, and how, very fast moving the global faith in the world, Islam, and also the tremendous populations of Islam throughout the whole world, the importance of Islamic marketing, the principles, and how we can align this conventional Islamic marketing, or the conventional Islamic marketing, to the principles, Islamic principles. We'll look into that later on. And Hadith Riwayat Al-Tirmizi, again, touch on aspect related to business and also marketing. Peniaga yang jujur dan amanah akan bersama para nabi. Orang yang jujur dan orang yang syahid. Again, this is the very essence of business, especially when we have to look at all the conventional, the methods, the business strategies, particularly Islamic marketing, how we can relate Islamic marketing to the conventional marketing. I will touch on that later on. Now, how do we achieve sustained business success? There have been many studies in the past, and as mentioned by Dr. Zarina, the research that I've done, the industries that I've been working with, whether as consultants, the facilitators, the training programs. There are many industries that I have been very fortunate to work with. For example, the healthcare industry, the banking sector, the higher educations, and also the I don't remember as one industry, but anyway, I will share with you later on. Now, based on the studies that we have conducted, my teams, we realized that one of the most important aspects in order to achieve sustained business success is comparative advantage. Comparative edge is about having comparative differentiation. Sustained business success will require that comparative. How can we differentiate the products, services, or offering? How do we differentiate? How can we be unique? How can we be different? And this is one important critical success factor. How do we maintain sustained market leadership? How do we practice sustainable practices, sustainable development practices? This is something that is very relevant today, especially with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Now, businesses, organizations, they're moving ahead. They're moving in terms of how do we incorporate these sustainable practices, not just focusing on the environment, but also on social sustainability and also the economic sustainability. So these are the three areas of sustainable practices that higher education, not just higher education, but also other business sectors would have to consider, would have to incorporate in their strategies, and particularly in marketing. And of course, service excellence. Service excellence can lead to sustained business success. That's what I mentioned just now. Service excellence is about providing outstanding service. Providing outstanding service, ensuring that services can be delivered in order to achieve the highest level of customer satisfaction. Because once customers are highly satisfied, this may lead, of course, to retention, this may lead to customer loyalty, repeat purchase behavior, positive word of mouth, and of course, they can be one day become your ambassador, free ambassador for your business organizations. Now, sustained business success, if I can summarize, is about creating lasting value, competitive differentiation. It's about building, nurturing, maintaining, enhancing that customer relationship, leading to customer loyalty. And of course, it's all about customer preference management. There has been a lot of studies in the past, and most of these studies have provided evidence that there is a very positive, very close relationship between sustained business success or profitability, put it this way. The positive relationship between profitability and the level of service that is being provided, particularly service excellence. Now, service marketing creates sustained competitive advantage through service excellence, customer experience, and also service quality. Well, these are the terms that are being heavily used in the area of marketing, though. I hope that some of you will be familiar with this term. Service marketing. We have to acknowledge the importance of the service sectors to the GDP of any country. To most countries, particularly Malaysia, the contributions of the service sectors is about 70–80% of the total GDP. In some countries, developed countries, even higher. So that is the importance of service marketing is very, very significant. And there have been a lot of studies, and I've conducted many, many studies in relation to service quality. And there has been a lot of positive correlations between the level of service quality and also the level of profitability, the level of return on investment, the level of customer satisfaction, the level of loyalty. So these are the positive links that have been associated with service marketing and the business performance of any organization, customer experience and also service quality. Service excellence is about providing outstanding customer service. And as what I mentioned just now, there are some positive correlations with these: higher profitabilities, repeat business, favorable word of mouth. And we want to create, for example, an ambassador. Then you should start with delivering high level of service quality that would satisfy customers. And if these customers are extremely satisfied, they can be translated, can be converted into a loyal customers, where they can provide free positive word of mouth. And if they do that on a continuous basis, then they would probably become an advocate of your organizations. And of course, the ultimate objective of any business organization is creating customers that are loyal, customers who engage in repeat purchase behavior, customers that would be that would have that bonding with you, customers that would purchase your products, your services, will become ambassadors to you. So these are some of the benefits, of course, of loyal customers. And how do we do that? It's through product creative differentiations or unique comparative product differentiation. So these are some of the positive link to service excellence. One of the research that I did together with my co-researchers is in the healthcare sector, where we developed an instrument, hospice instrument. It's an instrument for developing and also measuring the service culture, the service quality, the level of satisfaction, overall the service excellence in hospitals, in the healthcare sector. And one of the critical success factors that we have identified here is leadership. This is in rank order. It means that in healthcare sector, leadership is very, very important, in the sense that the top management of organization would have to create a culture of service excellence in order for the employees to provide top-notch service. It has to come from the management. It has to be it has to be top-down. There has to be a culture, and it has to be something that management will have to believe in, to create, so that the rest of the employees can emulate and can make sure that this level of excellence of service culture can be passed down to the patient, to the customers. This is number one. Number two in rank order is technology. Now, in order to provide service excellence, obviously, we need to have all the infrastructure, procedures, standards, tools, to make sure that service culture can be nurtured, to make sure that service delivery can be enhanced, can be operationalized. So these are set of tools, set of procedures that are needed in order to provide the excellent service. And of course, the third one will be organization. To create service excellence would require organization to adopt a culture of service. It means that it is part of what members of organizations do. Because if members of the organization can adopt the culture of service excellence, then obviously this will be translated, it will be passed down to customers, patients, and customers will develop the satisfaction, develop the loyalty, develop close relationship with organization. That's organization. And of course the people. Now service excellence of course depends on employees, especially the frontliners, those who are in direct contact with the customers. So these frontliners, the employees, who need to be trained, who need to be groomed, who need to be nurtured in terms of how do they deal with customers, in particular, how do they communicate, how do they respond to customers' queries, inquiries, how do they dress, for example, how do they deal with some issues, complain, how do they display the sense of commitment, sense of understanding while they deal with the customers or the patients. So these are very, very important aspects important aspect to achieve service excellence. So these are some of the factors that we have identified in our research on service excellence in healthcare sector. Now, customer experience also is another important aspect that can lead to sustained business success. Customer experience, especially positive customer experience. Now, customer experience is very unique though. In particular, it is about what we want is a positive customer experience. It's about delivering a distinctive, enjoyable, and memorable experience. Normally, customer experience is the product of interactions between service providers and also the customers. And normally, it is based on the perceptions, the individual perceptions of the customers. It can be, normally it is induced by certain stimuli. It is evaluative sometimes, judgment. And it is the outcome of the service interactions between service providers and also customers. So that's customer experience. And there have been a lot of studies in the past that link the level of customer experience and also the characteristics of customer experience leading to positive business performance, in particular, sustained business success. Now, ultimately, what any organization should achieve is to make sure that this experience can be translated into a positive relationship, higher level of satisfaction, turning satisfied customer into pleased customer, turning pleased customer into ultimately an advocate. And some scholars, marketing scholars, suggested that customer experience, in fact, this is the fourth stage of economic giving after commodities, products, and services. But these are four different terms, different meanings of services, experience, products to services, commodities to product. And if it is the fourth of the fourth stage of economic giving, it means that the importance of customer experience is very, very relevant in today's world, especially in the business world. So it's not good enough just to be able to provide products that will meet the needs and wants of customers. It's not just good enough to provide services as per level of expectation required by customers. It's about providing that experience, that memorable, the distinctive features of interactions between them. So this could play a very crucial role in determining whether the customers are pleased, customers will be highly satisfied, and how we can translate that into an advocate. Now, service experience. Again, as what I mentioned just now, this is one important aspect of the research that we've done, and this is one important research that we've done. In 2021, for example, we've done research in banking, customer experience rating. So we've developed the instrument with several banks, the commercial banks, where we study the relationship between the lending relationship between banks and also these SME businesses. And as a result of our study, we came to the conclusion that these are the factors that are very, very critical, especially in service experience. To create that service experience, the convenience is one important factor. Convenience in the sense that it's about availability, it's about making sure that the banks are, the services are made available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 52 weeks in a year, and so on. So this is a question of availability, it's a question of approachability as well, right? Convenience, especially now with the banking's online, using even the apps, the mobile apps, and so on. Service caps also another important aspect that can positively influence customer experience. Service cap. Service caps here we refer to the physical environment, the ambience, the lighting, the decor, or even the physical attire of the service employees. So these are very, very critical factors in making sure that the service experience is unique, memorable, and distinctive through service cap. The core service. Now obviously service experience, the level of service experience can be affected by the core service. I mean, if the core service of any organization is not fulfilled, obviously customers will not be happy, will not be satisfied, and this would have an impact in terms of the service experience. Another important factor that we have identified is the employee competency, the ability, not just in terms of the technical skills, but also in terms of the social skills, the intrinsic competency, the value, you know, how do they address customer complaints, issues, how do they communicate, trust, confidence, understanding with the customers. So all these are very much relevant in creating a positive, memorable, distinctive service experience. And of course, the other factor is online banking. This is very much relevant in today's world where everything is being offered online. Banks need to make sure that services offered, for example, would not only online would be, especially in terms of data security, privacy, making sure that all functions, the online aspects are fully functional, operational, and so on. So these are some of the important aspects of elements of critical success factors that can enhance the level of customer experience, that can create a distinctive, memorable experience for customers. Now, I've started off with customer satisfaction, and how customer satisfaction is the result of service excellence, customer experience, and service quality. So excellent service, customer service, will certainly lead to satisfied customers. Now, how do we achieve customer satisfaction? There are many different levels of customer satisfaction. You have customers that are merely satisfied. You have customers that are highly satisfied. Now, those customers that are highly satisfied are those customers that would be one day your loyal customer. See, business, in particular service marketing, is all about how do we create loyal customers? How do we retain customers? How do we nurture that kind of relationship? How do we maintain and how do we enhance that relationship? Because if we are able to create loyal customers, there will be a lot of positive outcome of that. Repeat purchase behavior, positive word of mouth, becoming ambassador. Loyal customers normally they don't mind to pay premiums because they really trust, they really believe in your products and also your services. So there is a lifetime value expectations that you can achieve from customers who are loyal to you. So there are many methods on how you can do so. One of these methods would be in terms of keeping promises made to the customers, giving them personalized, individualized attention, going above and beyond, and effectively addressing problems and inquiries. For example, being creative when it comes to solving customers' queries and also inquiries. Again, service quality is also another important aspect. It's a very important aspect of service marketing. It is a strategic force. It is a very dominant force, put it this way. And that's why many scholars or even practitioners, they are very much interested to study what are the factors, what are the causes, what are the effects of service quality, especially in terms of performance of business organization, whether it is a financial performance or non-financial performance. And how do we arrive to a service quality? Because service quality will certainly lead to competitive edge, competitive advantage, unique differentiation, value differentiation. Service quality is one of the tools of achieving competitive advantage. It is also a very important factor in achieving loyal customers. And this is one of the research that I've done in the past, service quality in education. Because all this while, education is very much focused on, particularly higher education, very much focused on the traditional measurement of standards, accreditations, performance indicators of research and also innovations. But how do we assess experience, customer experience, in particular students, stakeholders' experience, stakeholders of higher education institutions? This is, again, a very important aspect related to service quality. Now, as you have, as you know, higher education is nowadays being commercial rivalry due to the economic forces, in particular with the development of international educations and also the loss of funding, government funding. And most higher education institutions, regardless whether public or private, they have to source for alternative funding. And also there have been some conflicting views, conflicting interests, conflicting expectations from students, from industries, from stakeholders, from governments, from the communities, local communities. And one of the important aspects, one of the things that higher education will have to look into would be the experience that they are able to build with the customers, particularly the stakeholders. There should be a shift from the traditional standards of measuring success of higher education institutions in terms of the traditional measurement standards, accreditation, performance indicators, to the real experience, customer experience of stakeholders, in particular the students. And this is what I've done. This is the research that I've done. The level of service quality. measuring the level of service quality in higher education through an instrument that I've developed. I've named HEDPEF, Higher Education Performance Instrument. And this is an instrument that will measure the level of service quality in higher education. And according to these instruments, based on the empirical research that we have done, these are some of the critical success factors that can ensure high level of service quality. Access is the most important one in rank order. Access in the sense that this is about approachability and availability of not just academic staff but also non-academic staff in delivering service to the students, to the stakeholders, to the community. The second one is non-academic aspect. See that this the non-academic aspect is the second one. This is the second most important aspect. Students are more concerned not just about standards, performance, indicators, research, innovation, university, but how they feel about the experience. How the academic staff and also the non-academic staff treat them. Do they understand, for example, from their perspective? How can they have access to the services, whether it is available or not? These are some of the important aspects, which is very different, of course, if you look at the perspective of students. And the third one, the academic aspect, the teaching, delivery, availability in particular of the academic staff in meeting the needs and wants of the students. And surprisingly, reputation is not the most important factor. Students, stakeholders, they don't choose higher education because of reputation. They choose higher education because institutions, because of what they perceive to be important to them. In particular, the experience that they will get, the service that they will get. So this is some of the factors that I've, critical success factors of organizations, in particular the service, the higher education. Now, again, this is related to Service Quality Index. This research that I've done with Bank Negara, well, myself and also my team members, we were tasked to create an instrument that can measure the level of service quality in the banking sector. So since this study commissioned by Bank Negara, we have the luxury of getting all the banks, Islamic bank, conventional banks, to be part of this study. And out of the Likert scale, the rating of 1 to 5, our study showed that overall the level of service quality in the banking sector is 4 out of 5. It means that it is above average. Overall, customers are very happy with the level of service quality. The level of service, put it this way, provided by all the banks, whether Islamic or conventional bank. And based on this instrument also, we have identified the most important factor leading to highest level of service quality. The most important one is systemization of service delivery. This is one important factor where customers, bank customers, they want to ensure that the service that they receive systematic, orderly, the procedures, standards. They want to make sure that there is data protection, because they are very concerned about the privacy of data usage. It's also about making sure that services performed will be up to what the banks have promised. It's all about systemization, having systems, procedures. The second most important factor is reliable communication. This is one factor where customers of the bank would want to make sure that the banks can deliver to their promises. The banks can ensure reliable, for example, reliable transactions the bank can protect the data of the client. See, these are some of the aspects that are very, very crucial when it comes to bank service quality. And of course, responsiveness. Responsiveness has always been one of the most important factors in any level of service quality, even by previous marketing scholars. You know, the ability, the promptness, the ability to respond, the level of that response, and the timing of that response. So these are factors that are crucial in determining the level of service quality in the bank. Now, again, another important aspect of service marketing is relationship marketing. See, we have been talking about interchangeably the various terms in business marketing: service excellence, customer experience, relationship marketing, service quality, customer loyalty, and so on. So relationship marketing is one important strategy. One important strategy that will lead to loyal customers. It's a strategy for acquiring, retaining, nurturing, maintaining, enhancing that relationship that will lead to customer loyalty and also the highest level of satisfaction. We have done a few research on this, and we have provided evidence on the relationship between positive correlations between relationship marketing and sustained business success. It's not just this research, but also many scholars in business, in particular marketing, that have provided evidence of that relationship and how these various aspects of service marketing, relationship marketing, how do they lead to sustained business success. Based on the research that we have done in the banking and also food service sector, because these are the two most highly intense level of competitions, though. And in order to achieve relationship marketing, these are the critical dimensions. These are the critical success factors. In order to create that relationship, of course, there must be trust. This is the number one important element of creating a relationship. Trust. Providing that trust, confidence, understanding in that relationship. And the second most important is the commitment. Commitment of the service provider to the customers. Commitment that will provide them the best service. The third one would be the communication effectiveness. Communication is not just communication between service providers and customers, but also internally communications, internal communications across different level of management and across different departments within the organization. And another important aspect of achieving relationship marketing as one of the strategies to achieve customer loyalty is the ability of service providers to exhibit trust, exhibit empathy, assurance when it comes to dealing, when it comes to doing transactions with the customers. Again, another important aspect of service marketing here is customer preference. Customer preference in its original terms, definition here refers to the choices among valued proposition, choices among valid options. Preference is judgmental, is whether liking or disliking. Preference here, a choice of particular product or service, for example, would be would lead to a choice, okay? A choice of valid proposition. And acceptance of these, any of these choices, for example, shows a willingness to tolerate status quo or even some less desirable options. And the positive, the characteristics of customer preference have been under a lot of studies in the past. In particular, the relationship between characteristics of customer preference and business performance. I believe many of us understand that level of performance can be achieved using these two categories of indicators, the financial indicators and also the non-financial indicators. The traditional methods of measuring business performance through financial indicators may not be the best tool of managing the contemporary business anymore. Traditional measure of business performance, in particular the profitability, return on investment, return on assets, sales, and so on, they may not be the best tools of measuring business performance. Why? Because they don't measure how this performance is achieved. They don't measure also how we can improve this performance. And that's why in any future study, we have to look at the non-financial performance, non-financial indicators. What are the non-financial indicators of business performance? It's service quality, customer experience, customer relationship, loyalty. How do we measure that? So these are some of the important factors of leading to business performance. So it's not just confined to the traditional methods of measuring business performance in terms of the financial side, but we have to look at the non-financial aspect. And many scholars, many practitioners even are looking into that, because these are the tools that organizations will have to focus on. Right. In terms of customer experience, customer preference for the food service sector, we have done research in that. As what I mentioned, the food service sector is one of the highly intensive sector, competitive, and these are the critical factors based on our study. Price, surprisingly, price is the most important factor. The choice of food service establishment, for example, depend on the price, depend on the cost, depend on whether these establishments, they offer a discount or even attractive dealings and so on. And surprisingly, it's halal. Even in Malaysia, even though this is a nationwide study, halal is the second most important. And the customers, they want to ensure that the products, services that they receive, for example, halal, permissible. They must have the certification halal. And quality of service is the third most important factor of the choice of food service sector. Other than that, we have brandings and also tangibles. Tangibles here refer to the service cap, the physical environment, the furniture, fitting, the lighting, the music sometimes. And branding is also important, especially the brand of the food establishment and also the branding of the menu, the varieties of menu and so on. So these are some of the factors that we have identified to be critical when it comes to the choice of a customer for food service sector. Now let's talk about Islamic marketing. We're coming to the end of my presentation. Islamic marketing. Over the past 1 hour, I've been sharing with you importance of service marketing and also the various aspects of marketing. These are conventionals. These are conventionals because conventional marketing focuses on material gains, customer satisfaction. Material gains is about exchange between service provider and also customers in the form of material dimensions, and that as a result of that exchange, you would have satisfaction. Customers would gain satisfaction, and
the organization will gain profitability. That's the conventional marketing. But how do we embed the Islamic marketing to the conventional marketing? There have been a lot of studies in the past trying to look into the Islamic marketing and how do we merge that with conventional or traditional marketing. Now, Islamic marketing is all about adhering to the Islamic principle, Islamic value. How do we adjust, how do we align the full marketing mix, the product, the price, the place, and also promotion, how do we align that to the Islamic principle? Because Islamic marketing is a strategic business discipline. We follow Islamic principles, aiming to maximize value for stakeholders in this world and here. As well as I mentioned, conventional marketing is about achieving satisfaction, gaining that material gain, that material dimension of that transaction, whereas Islamic marketing focuses on the value from Islamic perspective, principles. And you have characteristics of spiritualistic, ethical, realistic, and also humanistic. Now, based on the research that we have conducted previously, where we try to embed Islamic marketing or Islamic principles to the conventional marketing. And these are some of the factors that we have identified, factors that we could incorporate into a conventional marketing. These are the 5 factors. Conformity. Conformity is about adhering to the Islamic value, Islamic principles, character, commitment, conscience, customer centrism. It's all about making sure that transactions between service providers and customers would adhere to the Islamic principles, Islamic laws, Sharia laws, and also making sure that during transactions there is a just, fair transactions, relationships. There will be ethical value that will be instilled, that will be practiced, and it's about relationship that will benefit both parties, the service providers and also the customers. Now, this is one of the research that we did on looking into the entrepreneurship. Way back in 2009, this again is a nationwide research where we want to know what are the critical success factors of Bhumiputra entrepreneurs. Bhumiputra entrepreneurs. And these are some of the factors, critical success factors. And if you can summarize that, Bhumiputra entrepreneurs, for them to succeed, to sustain the business success, they would need to adopt a service business model, number one. Number two, they need to have this advancement drive. They need to have the discipline. They need to have the diligence. They need to have the commitment. They should be achievement-oriented. They should be having the decision-making ability, in particular, the risk-taking, which is one important factor. Tenacity, social networking, because businesses for entrepreneurs is all about building, maintaining that social networking, and of course, optimism. Okay, these are my last 2 slides. Please bear with me. Let me go back to the higher educations. Now, as we know, the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, by United Nations is a goal. It's an agenda. It's a global agenda. It is something that all organizations, regardless of whether it's higher education institutions or business organizations and so on, is an agenda that all of us will have to understand, and all of us will have to practice, put it this way. In higher education, for example, we have to start looking at the curriculum, because we want to create a global, sustainable world, society. And SDG is all about the three important agenda, which is environmental sustainability, social sustainability, and economic sustainability. And curriculums of higher educations will have to embed these. In any future, for example, curriculum review, we have to look into how this aspect of social injustice, aspect of poverty reduction, governance, the ethics, corporate social responsibility, the use of or management of consumption of sustainable resources and so on, or even environmental protection. Because this is a global agenda, and these are some of the themes that should be part of curriculum of any business program. So future business educations would have to incorporate this aspect of sustainability, because success of business does not depend purely on products, services, and so on. Sustained success of business will depend on the sustainable practices. So higher education would have to start looking into how these elements of sustainable development goal practices be embedded in the curriculums of business education. Once again, I'm very honored for your presence this morning, and sekali lagi saya mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir, namanya kawan-kawan dari UiTM, kawan-kawan di industri, pensyarah-pensyarah, pelajar-pelajar, ada juga pensyarah yang mendengar melalui live YouTube, pensyarah-pensyarah yang datang dari cawangan, ketua-ketua pusat pengajian dari cawangan, terima kasih kerana dapat hadir. Ada juga kawan-kawan dari MPP, bekas MPP yang hadir sama, dan juga terima kasih banyak-banyak kepada Sekretariat kerana telah menganjurkan majlis syarahan profesor saya yang diketuai oleh Puan Mungara dan juga Dr. Diana. Terima kasih kerana atas persiapan tersebut. Pada mulanya saya ingat majlis kecil saja, cuma keluarga fakulti bisnes saja. Tapi alhamdulillah saya dapat I see support from all of you, from the Dr. Rozia sendiri yang datang. Terima kasih semua atas sokongan, atas dorongan, atas bantuan, dan juga atas doa. Dan kita doakan supaya semua urusan kita dimudahkan. Dengan itu sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Bahagia Prof atas perkongsian yang luar biasa sebentar tadi, dan diminta Prof untuk terus berada di atas pentas bagi acara seterusnya. Yang berbahagia Datuk, Datin dan tuan-tuan serta puan-puan sekalian, majlis akan diteruskan lagi dengan sesi menandatangani buku hasil tulisan yang berbahagia Prof. Mari kita sama-sama saksikan momentum bersejarah ini. Dengan kiraan 3, 2, 1. Prof boleh mulakan untuk menandatangani buku tersebut. Dipersilakan. Dengan temeterai acara tersebut, sesi menandatangani buku itu tadi menjadi simbolik kejayaan dan dedikasi yang dipersembahkan oleh Yang Berbahagia Prof. Ia bukan hanya menjadi kebanggaan fakulti pengurusan dan perniagaan, tetapi juga menjadi sumber motivasi bagi generasi akan datang untuk mengejar kecemerlangan yang setinggi-tingginya. Kami mohon agar Yang Berbahagia Prof untuk kekal di atas pentas bagi acara seterusnya. Sidang hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, majlis akan diteruskan lagi dengan sesi penyampaian cendera hati, tanda penghargaan. Dengan ini, majlis dengan penuh sukacitanya menjemput Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Roziah Muhammad Jano, mantan Chancellor UiTM, bagi sesi penyampaian cendera hati. Dipersilakan. Dipersilakan Yang Berbahagia Datuk untuk menyerahkan cendera hati kepada Yang Berbahagia Prof. Buat pengetahuan, cendera hati ini adalah hasil pemberian tulus ikhlas dari pihak Fakulti Pengurusan dan Perniagaan dan juga Jabatan Keusahawanan dan Pengajian Pemasaran. Majlis merakamkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Roziah Muhammad Jano, mantan Chancellor UiTM, dan Yang Berbahagia Prof atas penyampaian cendera hati sebentar tadi, dan diminta dif-dif terhormat dipersilakan ke tempat duduk. Silakan Prof. Yang Berbahagia Datuk Datin, sidang hadirin sekalian, kami ingin mengajak sidang hadirin untuk menumpukan perhatian kepada sebuah video montaj khas yang telah disusun sebagai penghormatan kepada Yang Berbahagia Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah.
Saya bertanya kepada Prof. Firdaus kerana hari ini merupakan hari kata kegembiraan untuk dia benar Profesor Talk dia.
Congratulations, Prof. Firdaus. I'm overjoyed to hear your wonderful news of having this professional lecture. Syabas Prof. Firdaus kerana berjaya mengendalikan majlis syarahan profesor ini.
Saya ingin mengucapkan segalanya tahniah kepada Yang Berbahagia Prof. Dr. Firdaus Abdullah atas majlis syarahan profesor ini.
Congratulations, Prof. Firdaus, for achieving this monumental milestone of your professorial lecture.
Kenapa saya memilih beliau untuk menerajui fakulti pengurusan perniagaan UiTM? Saya memikirkan apa dan siapa sebenarnya dapat ataupun mampu untuk menerajui dan membawa misi UiTM ketika itu, yang mana pada saya misi utama ketika itu ialah untuk memastikan kita berada di antarabangsa, dan saya kenal pasti Prof. Firdauslah orang yang insyaAllah ketika itu mampu, sebab saya bukan satu kelainan, dan kelainan itu ada pada Prof. Firdaus. Beliau seorang yang tegas, tapi ketegasan ini adalah apa yang mesti ada pada pemimpin. Pemimpin ini mesti dalam hatinya cekal, dan saya nampak kecekalan itu ada pada Prof. Firdaus, dan beliau mampu insyaAllah untuk membawa fakulti pengurusan perniagaan UiTM ke hadapan. Saya selalu memilih orang yang tepat, insyaAllah tepat, ada kepakaran, supaya bila nanti itu dia terus jalan. Dan saya juga menyatakan hasrat kepada Prof. Firdaus boleh ataupun pimpin keterampilan untuk masa hadapan demi bisnes perusahaan perniagaan UiTM.
Semua inisiatif fakulti haruslah mempunyai impak ke arah ketambakan tadi. So dia berkeyakinan tinggi untuk membawa fakulti pengurusan dan perniagaan ini ke tahap global.
Prof. Firdaus boleh bekerja dengan staf dari peringkat bawahan hingga ke atasan, dan juga boleh bekerja dengan berbagai pihak yang mempunyai kepakarannya berlainan, dan juga beliau merupakan seorang yang smart, very forward looking thinking, dan menggalakkan kerja berpasukan.
While working with you, I'm always encouraged and motivated. It was a privilege to work under your leadership.
Beliau adalah seorang ketua dan sahabat yang sangat baik dan banyak memberi dorongan dan perangsang kepada orang-orang di bawah beliau. Amat komited dan sering memberi dorongan kepada staf, terutama dalam bidang peningkatan kerjaya staf.
With his vision, leadership and strategies, UiTM Sarawak was crowned campus with the most MOUs signed in 2021. Obviously, Prof. Firdaus has continued these strategies and legacy, where recently, Faculty of Business and Management has been awarded Global Prominence Award on a professional level. These results are focused and with these strategies to bring about changes in the world.
He's a very good marketer for Faculty of Business Management as well as for UiTM, and I think being one of his subordinates, being one of his deputy deans, I believe that he's very supportive to research and innovation.
Berat tentang sekadar aktiviti pelajar dan beliau juga berhasrat memastikan agar pelajar di Fakulti Urusan Perniagaan menjadi pelajar yang holistik.
Di bawah kepimpinan beliau, saya telah banyak belajar dan berusaha menjadi orang yang lebih baik. Profesor juga seorang yang kompetitif, bukan sahaja dalam pekerjaan tetapi secara pribadi. Beliau juga seorang yang mentor yang berdedikasi di dalam membentuk keterampilan kerja yang luar biasa.
Prof bukan seorang ketua yang sangat supportif, seorang ketua yang sangat memahami, very understanding, flexible and also very confident.
Always inspire us in many ways. We always pull our hand and we always work together as a team.
On a personal level, Prof. Firdaus is a very good friend, jovial, and coachable.
Saya ini dia seorang yang sangat penyayang dan sangat bertanggungjawab. Dia akan cuba, walaupun dia sangat sibuk pagi, malam, tapi dia tetap mencari masa untuk kami dan anak-anak lah.
Harapan kita semoga Prof. Firdaus dan keluarga mampu untuk melaksanakan tugasan yang sangat besar dan untuk rakyat dan juga untuk negara, insyaAllah.
So, saya percaya ya, dengan dukungan waktu aktiviti, insyaAllah satu hari kita akan berjaya. So, akhir sekali, selamat berjaya Prof.
Selamat berjaya kepada lembaga Prof. Firdaus dan semoga Prof diberi taufik dan tingkatan yang baik bagi memacu fakulti ke peringkat yang lebih tinggi.
Wish you all the best for today's professional lecture and also for your career ahead. All the best, Prof.
Wish you all the best and hope that you get a blessing from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala and hope your endeavor will go smoothly, Prof.
Terima kasih atas dukungan Prof kepada kami berdiri dalam memasuki fakulti dan kami mendoakan semoga fakulti cemerlang dengan baik.
Dari atas keputusan Prof dan juga dari nasib baik Prof dalam memberikan lebih tinggi kekuatan Prof untuk berjaya.
My heart, pray and wish you will continue to fly high and along. Always remember this. Congratulations once again, Prof. Firdaus.
Yang saya dan anak-anak akan sentiasa support you. Apa je yang you nak buat, you just go on. And then saya doakan supaya cita-cita you, semua cita-cita you tercapai dan semoga Allah sentiasa memudahkan urusan-urusan you dunia dan akhirat.
Mami and myself give you a very big congratulations.
Itulah tadi video khas yang telah dikompilasikan sebagai satu ungkapan penghargaan yang tulus dan mendalam. Kejayaan seseorang tidak akan datang bergolek, tanpa adanya doa, sokongan dan dorongan dari keluarga dan rakan-rakan. Sidang hadirin yang dihormati, inilah yang dikatakan umpama berlayar sudah sampai ke pelabuhan, umpama berjalan sudah sampai ke destinasi, umpama berkayuh sudah sampai ke haluan. Dengan ini berakhirlah sudah majlis syarahan Profesor UiTM yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Firdaus Abdullah. Pihak majlis merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada tetamu kehormat dan para hadirin sekalian yang telah menyerikan dan menjayakan majlis pada pagi ini. Akhir kata, terima kasih sekalun budi daripada kami setulus hati. Dan majlis akan ditutup dengan acara sesi bergambar. Dengan ini dijemput diberi kehormat untuk naik ke atas pentas bagi sesi bergambar. Dipersilakan. Okay, ready, smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Right, sekali lagi. 3, 2, 1, smile. Dijemput pula diberi kehormat seterusnya untuk sesi bergambar. Dipersilakan. Baik, sedia. 3, 2, 1, smile. Sekali lagi. Freestyle. Baiklah, terima kasih diucapkan kepada semua tetamu kehormat kita dan dijemput untuk semua tetamu kehormat untuk menjamu selera di Dewan Pavilion. Dan untuk para hadirin, makanan pack food juga telah disediakan di luar. Terima kasih.